Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews. Horror Boy here, and today I'm going to be kind of taking a break from the Alien and Predator franchise. I might review Predator tonight and get a review lined up for tomorrow for it. I'm not too sure about that, but I'm just going to do a lot of videos. I still have plenty of time to do videos tonight, so I'm pretty much going to try and get as many out as I can. And these videos you probably won't be seeing until a little bit later on. Kind of put these on the back burner for later on. Mainly because I don't really have a lot of time to be recording videos right now. So while I have time, I'm just going to record a bunch, and then throughout the week just upload them, and then when I get time again, I'll record a bunch and then upload them. And the plan is to, when I get my new computer eventually, I don't know when it's going to happen, it might take a while, but whenever I do get my new computer, I'm probably going to start uploading a little bit more often. It just takes like 4 or 5 hours to upload a video from my phone, and that's not edited. You know, if I put a filter over it, you guys wonder what happened to the filters? Why I stopped putting filters in these videos? Because it takes longer. It takes almost 7 hours to upload a video, and my phone has a sleep mode that goes to sleep after like 15 seconds without any activity going on, and I don't know how to turn it off. I've tried looking for it, that setting forever, and I can't find it. So I gotta sit there and constantly move it, because if the screen turns off, it pauses your video upload. I didn't know that, and I found out the hard way, because I was like, oh, I'll just turn the phone off, and then it'll upload while I have it in the background. Nope. It took me about 12 hours to get a video up that night. So I learned that the hard way. But I'm gonna be recording these videos, get them in the background, upload them whenever I can have the time to upload them. So I just, hope you guys can be a little bit more patient with me with this upload schedule, because this is it takes a while to get these videos up. But, taking a break from the Aliens and Predator franchise, because I've been reviewing a lot of them lately. I might review Predator later on tonight, I don't know. But, a lot of people had recommended me to see Italian horror films. And so I went around and I tracked out a bunch of them. I got, of course, you guys already know I've done reviews on Italian cannibal films. I got those. City of Living Dead. The, oh man, what is it called? The Beyond. The Beyond. I don't know why I keep forgetting that movie. I got The Beyond. I haven't finished watching that one yet, but I actually got a pretty cool edition of that movie. I got The Beyond, and I got a couple other Italian movies as well. I still don't have Deep Red, but I really want to see it. And I believe Blood Beach is an Italian horror film, if I'm not mistaken. It might not be, but I think it is. Blood Beach. Or it's known by another title too, but I've always known as Blood Beach. But today we're getting to a Dario Argento film. And this is a director that I've always wanted to see a movie from. And I've always wanted to watch his films, and friends have told me about his films, and I've been recommending them plenty of times. And today we're talking about his classic film, Suspiria. Now, when I started my search for Italian horror, my friend said you need to start with Suspiria. Start with Suspiria, then you can watch some other stuff that he's done. Start with Suspiria, The Beyond, City of Living Dead. Those are really the first three that you should really start with. So if you're wanting to get into Italian horror, I recommend starting off with Suspiria. That should be your first watch. But I'm going to be honest in this review. I'm honest in every single review I've done. There's been a few reviews in the past where I've done, false opinions from shock value, or I've done it because, I didn't want to get too much criticism. But ever since I came back to YouTube and this set of videos have been put up, ever since I made that return video back in 2015, I've always been honest about my thoughts on films. And that goes for any film. I don't care if it's from John Carpenter's Halloween, to The Exorcist, to The Thing, to The Blob, to all the movies that I've covered over the years. I don't think I've covered The Blob, but one day I will. I should, because that's an excellent movie. Not the original, the remake. I haven't seen the original. But all movies I've reviewed, I've given my honest opinions on. I've done rants, I've done meh reviews, I've done really great reviews where the movies were fantastic, and that even goes for these movies too. Now, first of all, I want to show you guys the artwork, some pretty good artwork. And if you guys get on eBay, I don't know about now, or Amazon, whichever one you use. I'm more of an eBay guy because I don't want to pay for a premium or a Prime. And the way that eBay is going nowadays, I might have to get Amazon Prime because of the whole weird licensing thing that eBay is doing now, which I'll probably mention in another video. But if you get on eBay and you find these movies that are kind of like, I think this was in like China or something like that, Korea, some place way overseas. You can get these region free, and it takes a while for them to get here, but you'll pay $3 for the movie. This I paid $3 for. I got this, I got Basket Case, I got Eraserhead, and I got like 2 other horror films, like Scanners, and I got another one I can't remember right now. And I maybe spent $18 on all those movies, So I got a pretty good deal. Got this special edition. You got some good picture quality in there, some good audio quality. It's in English dub. I was really afraid of that. I was like, man, if this is region free, I don't know if this is gonna have. This is an Italian horror film, so I didn't know it was gonna have, the English dub, but it does. Not a great dub, but it's a dub. So yeah, you can see the region free stuff there. Honestly, if you're looking for something cheap and quick to pick up, it'll take a while for it to get to your house. To get these movies, it probably took close to a month to get them all. Well, probably 2 months because Scanners took forever for it to get here. But, it's honestly worth it. I mean, these are movies that I kind of was like, you know what? I don't know too much about them, so I'm just going to spend maybe $3 or $4 on them and get them really cheap. But that's the artwork right there. Really enjoy that. There we go. I actually really enjoy the artwork. It's pretty cool. And even the disc has artwork. See, I appreciate little things like that. I appreciate that. Because most DVDs and Blu-rays nowadays are just so generic. But I appreciate when companies actually do that. So yeah, good artwork. And the director, Dario Argento, has also made Inferno, Tenebrae, Phenomena, Opera, Two Evil Eyes, which is a segment on the Black Cat, the Cat of Nine Tails, or O Nine Tails, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and The Card Player, Sleepless, The Phantom of the Opera from 1998, Trauma, Giallo, Dracula 3D. He's making a movie right now called The Sandman. He's also made Mother of Tears, Masters of Horror episode, A Card Player. So he's done a lot of stuff, and he's still working. So props to Dario Argento, still working, still going strong. And of course, he made Deep Red and The 5 Days and Suspiria. So Dario Argento is a really big deal. He's definitely a director that I've heard a lot about. And I will say this, before we get into the story, to me, this is a great horror film, but I don't think it was as good as I was expecting it to be. And there is a remake out, so I might see that. But I don't even think a remake could really help some of my problems with this movie. It's just, I gotta get into it. I heard from a lot of people that this is a masterpiece, that this is a fantastic, perfect film. And I'm sorry if you feel that way about Suspiria, you're probably gonna be disappointed in this review. Obviously, it's not gonna be a rant, but I will say this movie has problems. And it was really hyped up. I think that's the thing, man. I got a lot of hype from a lot of people and got a lot of recommendations from it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a fan of this movie, that's awesome. I was definitely surprised by it, and it's definitely a different movie than what I'm used to. I think artistically and stylistically, this movie is very well done. But we'll get into some of my issues with this movie in a second. But basically, to get into the story, you have this girl. She's from America. She goes to Germany to become a ballet dancer. So she goes to this ballet academy. And when she goes there, there's this girl that's running out of there talking about this horrible stuff going on. Of course, this girl doesn't know what's happening, so she doesn't really pay too much attention to it. Later on, that girl ends up dying, and basically this new American girl that's come here starts noticing some weird things happening, some disappearances, some deaths happening, and some weird circumstances that happen throughout the film. And I'll probably get into some spoilers in this review, so I mean, spoiler alert. But basically, as the movie goes on, this girl kind of notices some stuff and starts to find out some dark secrets about this academy. Like I said, there's going to be spoilers in this review. It starts from now, so yeah. But I don't want to start with negative stuff. I want to start with positive stuff. First of all, I love the soundtrack. This movie's music is some of the creepiest music I've ever heard in a horror film. You know, I will give it that. It's very creepy. It's very unsettling. Has a very weird tone to it. Kind of like a mystical tone to it. It kind of feels like a fantasy tone. But like if you took a fantasy, like a fantastical score, and kind of added a layer of creepiness to it. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And it's very artistic. The score is very artistic. To me, this movie is definitely a slow burn. Even though it's an hour and 32 minutes, it's a very slow pace. You know, it takes a while for things to get going. But I will say that, you know, on the positive note, it does give time to build this lead character up. I think stylistically, the way the movie's shot, the way that Dario Argento directs the movie is very well done. It's very well directed, very well shot. It's beautiful to look at. It has some fantastic shots, some fantastic lighting, which gives it a very fantastical feel. Just some really great lighting choices, some great camera work, some good angles, and good effects, good practical effects, good death scenes. Like you have this scene right here where I think the glass ceiling breaks and this girl falls and gets hung, and the girl on the bottom there, she kind of gets impaled by all that glass. You know, you got a scene where a girl gets, like a hand comes through this window and grabs the girl and pulls her out this window. Pretty crazy scene. And you also got some other death scenes. It's got some great effects. You have a scene where a girl falls into some barbed wire. Okay, some decent effects. I will say that, first of all, you have an appearance in this movie, which I couldn't believe this. When I seen this crap, I really couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe he was in this movie. But it's a very famous actor. I think it's Udo Kier. He's in Ace Ventura, it's the guy from Blade. He's been in all kinds of movies. And I remember when I was watching this, and I seen his appearance in the movie, I was like, is that really that guy from Ace Ventura and Blade and all these other movies I've seen? He's also in that movie Fear.com. I was like watching, like, wow, he's just so freaking young in this movie. He really is. No gray hair. You know, he's freaking young in this movie. I think it's one of his earliest roles. And so that was pretty cool seeing him in his first role. This weird, I will say this, one of the scariest things about this movie is there's a butler in this academy that is one of the creepy, I swear to God, is one of the creepiest characters you'll ever see in a horror film. He has these weird teeth, this like weird look. He just screams suspicious. Basically the most obvious bad guy you could ever get. He looks like a freaking serial killer. And I like the twist of the movie. It kind of has a twist because it starts out, you think it's kind of just a slasher movie, people are dying, and I was like, alright, it's a slasher movie. And then it kind of transitions off into a story about witchcraft and stuff like that. And that's when things start kind of, you know, for me at least, that's when I kind of get out of the movie, is because I don't know why, but just it didn't really scare me too much, and it wasn't really a plot that I got into that much, honestly. And for a lot of people, I know that it is. Most people that love this movie love that aspect. But for me, my problems, because like I said, good score, good atmosphere, really good atmosphere, good lighting, good shots. On a technical standpoint, this movie is done brilliantly. On a story and acting standpoint and character standpoint, that's the stuff I'm not a fan of. And that's why I can say this movie is okay. It's good. It's good. I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad. But when you look at it as a story and as characters chemistry, acting, interesting and engaging stories, I don't think it has that. Like, to me, I'm not a fan of the whole ballet academy. I just couldn't get into the plot. It was just, to me, something that I couldn't get into. Most of the movie is people just dancing around in ballet classes, and it's like, you know, you can't relate to it. I can't. I've never done ballet, so I can't relate to that. You know, it just, to me, it just did not really need to be in the movie that much. And it's a very big part of the film is this ballet academy, and I just really didn't care about it. It was just something that I just didn't really find interest in. So, in that point, and you also have bad dubbing, which I know it's not the actor's fault, but the dubbing's really bad. The actors, they just really aren't very engaging. The characters really aren't interesting. You don't really know much about them. There's like a couple of characters I can remember, of course, the lead girl, the blind guy, the doctor guy who's played by that guy from Ace Ventura, the main mistress of this place, which you find out is like pretty much this witch. And I'm also not a fan of the idea. I'm not a fan of the whole witchcraft aspect and how you think it's a slasher film up until maybe the last third act of the film, and then it goes to a mystical witchcraft type stuff, talking about curses and spells. And I'm like, I don't really know about that. It's just something that just to me doesn't make sense. Some brutal scenes. You have a scene where a dog attacks a guy and rips his throat out and kills him. So that's a pretty crazy scene. Some bad acting, some bad dubbing. Who's there? What's out there? And then he pretty much gets killed. To me, the best part of this movie is the very end. It really is to me, because the rest of the movie is kind of boring, goes at a slow pace. I'm not really into it. The story's not very engaging. You think it's a slasher film, and then it becomes kind of this witchcraft movie with witches and spells. I'm kind of like, But the third act of this movie, I thought Dario Argento went all out. It's kind of like if you watched Evil Dead. Only for me, Evil Dead has a lot more better stuff going into it. Like, to me, it has gore, and to me, decent characters. You cared about Scott, you cared about Ash. I can remember them. I can remember Ash's sister, Cheryl. Wasn't one of them Shelly? You can remember those characters. Linda. You know, I can remember all those characters. Here, I can't remember any of these characters' names, and I don't really know too much about them. But at the end of Evil Dead, it goes full force. Sam Raimi went all out on that ending. Dario Argento does that in this movie. And I think that without this third act in this film, this movie really wouldn't get as much hype as it would. Only because, to me, it's just, I don't see where it's brilliant as far as storylines and characters go. But that third act is fantastic. You know, I will say that. This movie has one of the best third acts because it gets so intense so suddenly. The atmosphere kicks up. It becomes very dark, and the suspense level is through the roof. This girl is starting to find out more and more stuff. She finds out that there's this room, this kind of hidden area in the place. And basically, these people in this academy are trying to bring back this old ancient witch that's been dead for years. And when she comes back to life, she's super creepy the way she's done. It's practical, it's good effects, the dialogue is creepy, her voice, whoever the voice actress was, did a great job making that creepy. And basically this lead girl in this scene right here gets this like an ice pick or whatever, like a knife or an ice pick. It stabs the girl, pretty much kills her. Then she pretty much gets out of there. Kind of repeats the same thing at the beginning of the movie where she runs out and there's a person on the outside of the door. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, the ending is fantastic. It's moody, it's shot well, it's suspense filled, and for 1977, the ending is very impressive. I would say it's one of the best third acts I've ever seen. But besides that, the rest of the movie I thought was just not very impressive. And this is just my opinion. If you're a fan of the Suspiria film, that's pretty good. That's awesome. I'm going to check out the remake eventually. I know there's one out. See if it kind of did things a little bit better. But yeah, to me, fantastic effects, fantastic shots. It's directed very well. It's, technically speaking, the way that it's made is brilliant. And the third act is amazing. But for me, it kind of falls short with the characters and the storyline and, an engaging storyline. You got to keep the audience engaged if you're going to make a slower paced horror film. Even if it's an hour and a half, you still got to kind of keep your audience engaged for a little while. And the build-up, I just didn't really get behind. I didn't really get behind the whole witchcraft aspect and the twist. But, I mean, besides that, Suspiria is a pretty decent film. I find it to be pretty decent. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching my review on Suspiria. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye, guys.